Hello and welcome to Cuddick Farms. We're back with another episode of UMRV, Upper Mississippi River Valley, and today we are picking back up on our corn silage. As you can see, we got all of these semis emptied out overnight into the harvest store. However, we are sitting pretty much full on silage right now, so I'm going to park this truck right here in the middle of the driveway with everything else. We've got a whole bunch of empty semis, and while I had intended to have them all emptied out so we could just get started right away on our silage harvest this morning, as you can see, we're full up on chaff. I just got that last semi into our harvest store, and we're cranking through the silage and hay as we're making TMR, trying to keep up with our animals, which we're doing pretty good on. We've got the main barn all full of feed. We got the secondary barn all full of feed, and the third barn, which I don't have an automated course for, but we've been doing manually. We just dumped a couple loads of feed in there. So we're set on our farms for at least 4 days of moving time forward, which is great. I don't really have to worry about it. And the two tractors with the mixer wagons are set up on an auto drive course to handle that. What we need to do, though, is get more harvesters set up to hold all of this chaff. I briefly considered doing a bunk, but I think we're going to save that for a future series. I do have a plan to jump into doing some cattle here soon, and I think we might do something on that. Although, you know, how much I'm going to need a bunk and stuff in that for realism, I don't know. But today, I think what I want to do for the scale of this farm is we're going to keep it simple, and we're going to get some fermenting silos going here. In the previous episodes, I've talked about whether or not I could just use the map-based ones that we've got right over here and enable those and slap them down. I went and edited the XML and turned those on because they're not turned on to show up in the store right now, and it's not hooked up to the models. The fermenting silo is just the triggers, is how it's set up. So there's no model that's going to show up when you go to place those. It just wasn't going to work. So instead of trying to do a bunch of work and figure out how to turn that into a reasonable mod, I went to the mod hub and downloaded a set of fermenting silos that is actually almost as good. Let me think about this. Was it under production? No, I think they actually put them in silos, even though they are production points. Here we go. We've got this fermenting silo pack, which is a mod available on the mod hub, and it does have a steel silo 2 here. It's going to cost me $250,000 to put one of these down. However, we do have $500,000 available, so it's not that big of a deal. And the goal is, I think, to convert this area of the grass field, it's really the only place we've got, into a silo array here. I think I'll turn this part into a driveway, and the goal being that I can have the trucks come in and dump into this, and then I'll put a driveway around the back, and we'll be able to have a course that takes the silage out of this and moves it into our other silos over here for mixing into TMR. I did not edit this mod in any way. I could make these TMR mixers as well. I just figured why not keep the main silo here for making TMR, and for the time being at least, these are just going to be here for fermenting silo or fermenting silage. They're not very big, which is great. And so my thinking process here was I would place these down first, and then we would come in and add the roads to support it. My hope is that I can use this driveway to come in and then create another driveway here to go out. The only problem is we do have a sign right there, which is unfortunate. Maybe I can level the ground over this way a little bit to create a driveway. And I want to do that before I start placing things down, just in case things don't work out here and we run into some major problems. So I'm going to take this smoothing tool. No, I'm going to take the leveling tool, and I'm going to start on the road here. And I'm hoping this doesn't destroy all of our painting. And I'm going to level this into the field area to start with. And then I'm going to smooth this out to give me a more gradual driveway up this hill. There we go. And that just ensures that when we're coming into this, I'm not wrecking the road. I don't want there to be a huge hump on the road. Now, this is a pretty low spot, and you can see this is a insane amount of hill here that we're going to have to try and get up. So I'm just going to try and smooth this out a little bit, balance it out, so that as we're coming up this hill, it's not having any really sharp and bumpy parts. And I suppose I am going to lose out on the little bit of grass out here as well from a field perspective, but I'm going to have to just accept my losses on that. I think it's not worth it to come out here and mow for 5 bales right now. One thing that I want to do, though, is take this level tool, and within some reason, I want to bring this out. I'd like to have a flattish area that we can have this road be. So I'm going to... Oh, I don't want to do it that way. I want to shrink this down a little bit and give myself a starting point that's similar to the road that's already here. And then I'm going to make this bigger. And we're going to bring this all the way over here. Now, luckily, it looks like I'm lowering all of this, which is good. And now I'm raising, so that's a pretty significant height difference there. We're going to need to smooth this out a bit. And then this is going to let me, hopefully, create a nice flat area into this hill that we're going to be able to put down these fermenting silos. Man, there's a lot of hill here. It does taper back off on the back side, so I feel like if I just take this all the way to the outside here, that it wouldn't look so bad. The problem is as you get closer to the water, it stops letting me flatten things out. So I'm kind of reduce the size of my brush here in order to make these edits. And I'm just trying to make sure I don't mess up our BGA here too much, but it looks like we're doing pretty good. I'm going to grab the level from the BGA and bring that over, actually. I think that's going to be the better way to do this. And because I want things to look aesthetically pleasing, I'm going to just kind of level that whole area out. We can repaint at some point here. And as long as I'm at it, we're going to bring that all the way out here to the other road and just keep smoothing things out here. It'll be so much nicer to have our areas be much flatter. It'll look good with the way the driveways are set up. And I'm just going to bring this huge area all the way out here, kind of leveling this out as we go. If I have a bit of a hill behind me, I don't think that's going to be a big deal. And we've flattened a lot more of this out. Looks great. I can always use the smooth tool when we're done with this to kind of try and balance this hill out behind us. And I'm doing this whole area mostly because I do think we're going to end up needing more than one of these silos over time. I think we're going to end up needing a couple of them. And so I just want to make sure I've got plenty of room to build the roads around them and get everything going. Now this does continue to drop down here, so we're going to shift back into our smoothing mode and just make this driveway a little bit more approachable. Maybe even using the bigger smooth tool there. There we go. That looks nice and gradual, not too janky. I'm going to bring it this way. I think that's about the right size for a driveway as well. It's going to let me swing through here as well. I don't know if that's going to be something I need to do or not, but it gives me options when it comes to building out my auto drive stuff. So I'm going to take the smooth tool now, and we're just going to come around here and give this a more natural edging, so it's not quite so steep right into the side hill. I'm going to get somebody to come out here and tell me that my water paths don't look very good with this. I don't know if I have to worry about drainage too much. I'm building it out here on this little peninsula deal with all the lake around me. I figure this ground is probably not going to be that suitable for building on in any way. This is probably not where you'd want to put a big structure like this. However, I think this is going to be good. I'm not unhappy with how this looks. So let me place down the silos first. And I now only have enough money for one. Wow, we spent almost $200,000 on putting these in. I'm looking at how wide the road is here generally and thinking if I start them over here, I should have plenty of room to have a path in front of and behind them. For dumping, which way do I want the input versus output to be? I think I'm going to put the input on the back, and then that way when I'm coming around to pick up more materials, it's on the front here. Do something like this. I don't want to have the road be so close there. I think that, although if I need a lot of these, maybe I want to be able to run 2 banks of them. Where if I had one back there, something like that, and then these could empty the same way, or I could do them this way. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to put it right here. I think this is where it's going to go. And then let's see what my leveling here is a little bit off, so I'm going to grab the landscaping tool one more time and to just see if I can fix this. That does seem better. This ditch could use a little bit of fine tuning. And then paint wise, I'm looking for, is this the same material? It is. I've used this for all of these paths so far, but maybe we'll switch it up and use the white crushed rock look here, just to mix things up a little bit. And I'm gonna make this a bit bigger so it's about driveway sized, and I'm just gonna bring it around here. And then similarly, I'm going to paint a path on the back side of this, something like this. And I think I'm gonna do is upgrade this whole driveway entrance here. Let's see if it'll let me continue to paint under my guy. Nice. And then I've just gotta clean this up a smidge. Well, let me check the other side here as well. This actually looks pretty good. I'm gonna grab this and just paint my corners, channeling my inner Bob Ross here. Start painting happy trees or something here soon. So that part all looks good. Let me get my driveway painting back out. We're gonna, I can't paint that area there. Oh, so strange. Let me make the brush a little bit bigger. That'll work. And I don't know how many of these we're gonna end up putting down in the big picture, so I'm just gonna bring this driveway around up here for now. And if I need to create some more space later on, we can definitely do that, but that should be more than enough for what we're trying to do. And we'll get the grass painting out. I'm just gonna put down a little bit of grass on the edges, and I'm just gonna paint over the field area here and turn this back into a non-plowable area, non-farmable area. Just kind of forget about the fact that this was a field in general. I think that there's not enough of it here left that I want to monkey around with it anymore, to be honest. So that's the plan, and I'm just going to fill in the rest of this grass real quick here. We're being a little bit sloppy about it, but it's just grass. We can always fine-tune things again if we find that we're missing or don't have enough room, I should say, to turn with our driveways and such. But I do want to keep our driveways looking at least somewhat respectable here. There we go. I think that's looking pretty good. I'm not gonna mess with it too much more than that. I am gonna leave this part around the silos as the unpainted grass, just to remind me where I can place things and keep it in mind. I don't think it looks too bad like that. So let's go ahead now and see about getting our silage operation running again. So we're going to be tackling field 23 here. I had a worker follow me out with the other harvestor because, well, why not? We want to make sure that we're getting everything done. Dismiss worker. There we go. I don't use follow me that often. Sometimes I forget what's going on. But the plan here is to dive into corn silage on field 23. It is a little bit smaller than field 7, and we've already got an auto drive course set up to get out here. I didn't want to monkey with getting auto drive all going on field 24 just yet, although it looks like I have a field 24 waypoint, believe it or not. So I must have set that out at some point. But we're going to go ahead and just get a course going out here. Somebody mentioned, though, in the last video, and I said I was going to do this. Let's not do up-down. Let's do let's go around. Is it racetrack or spiral? Let me generate one of each here. Not spiral. I thought there was a way I could go around in just a never-ending circle on the field here. Spiral seems to be doing that, but it still has headlands. I was expecting it to just do ever shrinking headlands here, and not quite like this. But with the way the trucks work and such, we're gonna give spiral a try. Racetrack would be the other one that I would think would work out well. I'm just not sure. So I'm going to let us go with spiral here. We'll try it. If it doesn't work out, we can always try racetrack on the next field. However, we're going to start on the first waypoint. He's going to be the left worker here. So I'm going to hit start, and he's going to move into position. And I'm going to jump into the semi and bring this out to the field here. Now, what field is this again that we're doing? Field 23, I said? Woohoo, don't hit the fence, bud. And we are going to need to set up a new harvester dump location here. I'm going to do that, though, with another vehicle while the harvesting is getting started here. But I might have to run this guy around the headlands myself. I'm not sure. I want to get the other chopper moving, so I'm going to go out there. We're going to help this guy get started manually, and then I'm going to switch everything out to running automatically with auto drive. It does look like our harvester's either stuck on the telephone pole or just waiting for somebody to empty. Looks like he's waiting for somebody to empty, which is actually really good. So let me pull on up here and see if we can make this happen. This telephone pole is in the most inconvenient location for a field driveway, or maybe the field driveway is in the inconvenient location. It's definitely not conducive to getting in and out of the field without getting hung up on stuff, though. So here we are, field 23, harvester dump, and I'm going to hit go on this, and everything's going to stop because I need to flip this guy over to field 23 as well. Perfect. And that should just go now, which is one of the things I love about using this setup. I know a lot of people have suggested maybe I should try out courseplay unloading for the in-field work with this setup. I haven't used courseplay's unloader for the forage harvesting, however, so I'm not sure how well that works or how I'd even set that up. At some point, I guess I could definitely dig into that, but for today, we're gonna just keep doing this because it should generally work pretty well. And I've got everything going here. I've got field 23. We're pretty good. I don't even want to know what's going on with the semi right now as he tries to make that corner. I'm confident he'll figure it out. And we're going to jump all the way over here and get our other semis moving. I should be able to set this semi up and just send him on his way. I'm going to pull him out of the driveway, though, because I'm kind of in an awkward position for auto drive to pick things up. I don't want to get hung up on the gate. There we go. And that should just work. And this is going to need some help. All right, let's help a guy out here. The first headland pass is always the toughest with stuff like this, especially on these fields where there's not a lot of room for them to get around. I am worried that that other semi is going to show up here and try and come all the way out to this chopper, though, right now, which would be a pain. So I'm going to wait and see what happens here. I'm expecting, though, that things will get mixed up just because that does tend to be how it works. I can't even tell what's going on back there right now. Let me go ahead and start this guy back up. I'm going to stop this guy for a moment. And my hope is that if we can get these guys aligned back up in an appropriate way, that this pair is going again, it looks like. Perfect. Exactly what I want to see. And then I can come in here and start this guy off. Guy or gal, I suppose. And then I'll drive this manually up into the field just to get it started off. And then we'll kick off the auto drive, get everything moving like so. Here we go. Looks good. And boom, I think we're good to go. Now we just have to hope that the semi doesn't get stuck somewhere in a ravine down on the other end of the field as we make our way around, but that is what it is. Yeah, he's doing it. He's getting stuck, but he's gonna figure it out. My confidence level is medium, and I'm gonna go ahead and take this other semi now, and we're gonna make the auto drive course for their destinations before I forget about it, and we end up with all of our semis backed up on the farmyard silo here. And this is one of those things where once we get this working, it should work pretty well, I'm hoping. I'm gonna come down this road. This is a two-way road right now. We've got to pay attention to the directions on some of these lines. I think this other one is an entrance. Yeah, so this is where we're already going into this driveway with this path. But instead of going that way, I need to continue this way. So here we go. We're going to record, and let's go around here. I could have swung a little bit wider than I did, but it shouldn't be a huge deal. I want one more point. Come on, give me my point. There we go. This is going to be the point for, man, what do I call this? Harvest, or, I mean, they're all harvestors. I don't remember what I called my other one. One dump. Let's see if this works. Yeah, because I have the main farm one, and now I have harvestor one dump. Okay, so we're gonna take that. I gotta keep it recording my course though here. Don't get distracted. And we're gonna go all the way around, keeping this nice and wide in case I do build more of these. And then I'm gonna stop recording right here. I'll back my truck up, and we're just gonna manually connect these two things like so. There we go. Now I can go ahead and just hit play, and this guy should figure this out. We just want to make sure he's going to make the turn, not run into anything. Looking good. This guy's figuring things out. I don't know that he's doing it very well, but I'm going to update his destination spot, and let's see if he can keep doing his thing. We do have just enough of a grass shoulder here. It seems to be working out for him. We're only 47% full. It's pretty good. I'm looking for my blue truck here. There it is. Because I want to update his destination with Harvestor 1 dump as well. Now, this new Harvestor that we've got set up, if we take a look at it in the thing, has chaff silage. And I believe the capacity here is set up to be 925,000 liters, which is great because we edited the on-map one to be 1 million liters. So the two of these are going to have very similar capacities, which for me mentally will work out well. I'll know that if I have a full silo here, it's nearly a full silo on the main farm where we're going to be mixing all of our feed. I think that's going to work out really good for us. And just keeping an eye on these workers here. I think everything's working out for us. Our first semi here, the lead chopper, seems to be starting to get full, but we'll make it all the way around the field before we get to 100%, I'm pretty sure, which is going to work out great for us. The AI is a little bit painful, especially on the headlands here. I'm tempted to take over. It's going to cause that red truck to come out here, though, and try and take over for this chopper, which is unfortunate right now. But maybe we can make our way around the first bit here. My joystick is not working because we had our mouse clicker open there. Whoa, that guy has gotten going down that hill pretty fast. By the time he turns around, should be good to go. And this will give me an opportunity to send this truck up and test out our new auto drive course without having to wait for a full semi here. I'm just trying to figure out where that red truck went. Make sure he didn't get down in the ditch. He looks good. He's going to catch up, and we should be good to go right after we get around this bend. I'm liking it. Timing actually worked out well on taking over for this guy. I was not planning this per se, but sometimes things just work out for you. And I'm really hoping that our subsequent times around this field are going to go a lot smoother now that we've got things sorted out. I'm going to keep following this guy just until he gets over into his next row, just to make sure he gets cut in and that red truck isn't going to have any problems figuring out how to keep him moving. I can hear him coming up behind me here. Perfect. All right. Nice timing. We'll switch right on out here. Super smooth, and I can see the blue truck over on the other chopper there. They're still moving. Everything's going good, which gives me confidence that the next headland pass here is going to work out for us with the red truck while we're off dealing with this. So here I am out on the road. Let's go ahead and nope, skip that. I want you to go to the Harvestor dump location. I love it when everything just works. All right, so it's coming up here on the turn. He is slowing down big time as we approach the turn, though. I was kind of hoping that they'd go a little bit faster through here, but I suppose it's not the worst idea to drive a reasonable speed. I'm going to speed up my cruise control. I don't think that's affecting auto drive at all. I know it does affect course play, but there's no need for that to be so low. And driveway looks just wide enough. We ran over a little bit of grass. Oh man, we painted some grass into the driveway there. That was unintentional. That's all right. And we're staying on the driveway more or less here as well. I approve. I'm going to turn on the waypoints just so I can see. I'm worried that we didn't move this one far enough forward to start dumping into the Harvestor, but we did. Oh, it's perfect. Everything's working out for us. And then if I hop into the menu here, we're going to come into chaff, and I'm going to go ahead and activate this. Now, this one runs a little bit different. This is set up to run 600,000 cycles a month, and it's moving one chaff to one silage per tick. So this is probably bad for performance. It's going to activate a lot more in the background, but it is moving, and it moves much more regularly, so you can see things getting converted in real time just about, where I think this one runs once a game hour and moves a good chunk over. It's moving this much over, but it's running a lot less frequently. So it's going to get it done in the same way. It's just how frequently it's moving the materials over. But we got a lot of silage stacking up here. We're starting to get a little TMR mixed up. Things are looking great. I'm feeling pretty good about how all this is working. And while we were in checking out the menus, our semi has dumped all of its chaff and moved on here. Just clicking back over, yeah, we put 262 cubic yards of chaff in here. I love it. Everything's working out for us, and this is going to be a much more sustainable, expandable solution for us. We're going to be able to scale out our silage capacity quite easily doing it this way. I like it. Now I'm seeing our blue semi is stopped here on the corner. I'm not sure what's going on. He maybe is backing up. He's got his flashers on. Yeah, it looks like he's just maneuvering to get around that sharp corner. Unfortunately, I wish that the pathing was just a smidge better on this and that they wouldn't spend so much downtime trying to figure out what's going on. However, this sure beats trying to run all of these vehicles manually myself. So I'm going to leave this semi here. I want to see that it can actually continue on its own, but I know it can because the red semi already did it. Speaking of, let's just jump back here. He's already in the back corner, just navigating around to get a better position. Makes sense. I think that's all working for us. And then if I jump over here, it looks like the black semi is on the move. And that's because this semi is now at 86%. I think I've got an 85% call level or something like that. So it'll have the vehicle start coming out once the other one starts getting full, which works really well on these big fields. We should be able to keep things moving a lot better that way. By the time he figures out how to get over here, the blue semi will be ready to head back out of this field, which I kind of want to see. Make sure that we're not going to be getting hung up on the telephone pole on the way out of the field. We might need to move our auto drive course off of the driveway a little bit, crowd the other side, so to speak. That black semi is making its way out here. The fact that we missed a little bits on the corners, I think, is... And I have the don't drive on crop settings turned on. It might be causing a little bit of a hiccup for him to get out here. But again, that's why you have this pre-call on the semis, so that they can get moving and make their way out here before you're full and the chopper is sitting around waiting for you. We're at 98%. We should finish up right as we get to the end row here, it looks like. The chopper's trying to put it right in that back corner of the trailer there. Driver's being quite finicky for topping off this semi. That's all right. Just waiting for him to get full and move on. I could help him out here because we're here and watching what's going on by clicking that. I think he's going to do a path planning and exit the field now. There we go. The irony that he has an easier time filling him doing that. And now we're getting rain. Unfortunate. I think we take a harvest penalty if we're harvesting in the rain, even for silage. So let me get over here and I'm gonna turn this worker off. We're gonna pause our chopping for just a bit. Man, I'm getting quite a bit of equipment here. In fact, I know our other chopper is right here, so I'm gonna hop out and we're gonna stop this guy manually. Our black semi has gotten off kilter here because I stopped that one and it saw this one was active and it just gave up and decided to come over here. Yeah, this semi is good and stuck down here in the ditch. Thank you, automated workers. Well, with the semi unstuck here and the rain coming in, I think this is probably going to be a great place to just wrap up this episode. We've done a lot of building. We've gotten all of our automation set up and working now for our new and improved silage handling. At this point, I think I just need to get through this rain and we'll keep chopping here and we'll check in next episode and see how long one of these silos is going to last us. I think we're going to fill that up in this field easily, and we're going to be adding on additional harvesters there to hold all this chaff and turn it into silage for us. However, that's going to be all for today. If you enjoyed the episode, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Kedrick out.